Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about third-party politics, so let's do it. Alright, so the United States has a two-party system, dominated by the Democrats and the Republicans. Now, it's important to know that this is not because of the Constitution. It did not declare that we'd have a two-party system. In fact, it didn't mention political parties at all. We might remember that George Washington famously warned against dividing into political parties, but it happened anyway. And there are some reasons for this. Some of them are structural barriers, so it's the way that we legally have set up our elections that favor having two parties dominate, while others are informal. And so this is the idea that sometimes the actions of people, even though they could vote for other people or candidates from other parties, but they don't anyway, and this ends up again perpetuating our two-party system. So we want to consider both some structural and some informal barriers to third-party success. Now, if we consider that there are a number of structural barriers, so these are legal things, the way that our elections are set up. We have a winner-take-all system. We have single-member voting districts, and we have a plurality system. These three things combine to reinforce the notion of two parties winning over and over and over again. Now, I'm going to focus in this video just on one of these, and that's winner-take-all voting districts. If you need more information about the others and additional structural barriers, check out the video I've linked to in the notes below this, and you can get all that information if you want to. Now, winner-take-all voting districts, it means that when a district votes, whoever gets the most votes in that district, they go to Congress and they become that district's member of the House of Representatives. So, everybody votes for one member of the House. It's on a district-by-district basis. Most votes wins. That person goes to Congress. Well, what's the big deal? How is that a barrier for third-party success? Well, we need to think about what could be in its place, and that would be to have a proportional system. So think about it this way. Imagine that you start a third party. All right, so you do really, really well. You run 435 candidates nationwide, one in each district, and they are going up against a Democrat and a Republican in each of those districts. Now, your candidates do really, really well. For a brand new party, they win 10% of the vote in every one of those races. In our system, you will send exactly 0 people to Congress because 10% is not enough to beat the Democrats or the Republicans. So you're going to come in third place most likely in pretty much every district nationwide, and you will have nothing to show for the efforts, the time, the money, the energy, all of that. You'll have no representation in Congress. This discourages you from starting that third party. It discourages people from voting for that third party. On the other hand, if we had a proportional representation system, now people would vote nationwide again. And if the vote goes the exact same way, everybody that voted for one party votes for that same party, and your third party gets 10% of the vote, now this time they would then get 10% of the members of the House. So now instead of having 0 representatives, they would have 43 or 44 representatives. That is a huge deal. So a proportional system would encourage third parties to run because there's some kind of reward. True, they're not the majority in Congress, but a lot of votes could be determined by those 43 or 44 people, right? And so there would now be a major incentive to run, even if you're going to win just a small amount of the vote. But we have winner-take-all, which discourages that from happening. An informal barrier, so there are a number of these. People feel like they're wasting their vote and their vote doesn't count. But the one we want to focus on here is the idea that the major parties, meaning Democrats and Republicans, they often incorporate the popular portions from third-party platforms into their own party platforms. A good example of this could be the Green Party. So the Green Party begins as being a very liberal party, and one of the things it focused on were environmental issues. And so there were a number of people that were very liberal, more liberal than the Democratic Party, and they voted for the Green Party in the late 90s, the early 2000s, because they thought that that party was where it was at on environmental issues. Well, guess what the Democratic Party has done since then? They have taken a lot of those ideas from the Green Party, and they have just included it into their own platform. So now people who in the past would have been tempted to vote for the Green Party because they were the ones that were more correct on environmentalism in their opinion, now they don't need to vote for the Green Party anymore because they can vote Democratic and they can be supporting that same side of the issue. Alright, that's it for this video. Until next time, this has been money production. Thanks again for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you do me a favor, hit that like button for me. It really does help me to spread these videos to other AP Gov students, get these out there so more people can benefit from them. I appreciate it so much. I'll see you guys in the next video.